Okay, I will just go straight to the lesson or the discussion today. It's titled Collaborating with Others. And this class, we do a number of topics that affect our day-to-day lives, and we've been having some other people, specialists, come once in a while to discuss things that affect us. So we will be having different faces take these lessons. Okay, so today we're talking about collaborating with others. I give a small definition to the collaborating with others. And it's a process where two or more people or organizations come together to complete a task or achieve a goal. And this involves sharing ideas, knowledge, skills to achieve a mutually agreed upon outcome. And collaboration involves sometimes compromise and communication to reach the solution that it's been set out, the goal that is being set out. An effective collaboration requires trust, respect, and willingness to work together towards a shared goal. There has to be willingness. If there's no willingness when you're collaborating, then the outcome would all be defeated. Collaboration can occur in various contexts. It can occur at the workplace. It can occur in schools. It can occur, say, in a spiritual center. It can also occur in families, personal relationships. And by the way, this lesson will not just affect us, say, in the workplace or in the school. It can also affect how we collaborate with ourselves in families, in relationships, because and how we comport ourselves and present ourselves, especially in relationships. And I would also bring meanings from diverse grounds, some spiritual context, more contemporary context. And from spiritual perspective, we see it as a powerful tool to connect with the divine within ourselves and others. You hear Dr. Greg often say things, and we know about a namaste, the divinity in me saluting that in you. I mean, that's some form of collaboration and understanding that we are one in spirit. And we also emphasize the importance of building community and working together for greater good. When we talk about building community, this is also an aspect of most of our classes where we'd hear from you and we'll talk our ideas and experiences and demonstrations together, and we'll connect on that ground. That's also a form of collaboration. And collaboration can be a way to also practice love, compassion, and kindness towards others. I mean, typically what comes to mind, it's sometimes during the interaction section in our classes, people make comments and share their things that affect them. And in the chat room, you hear people sending messages of love, kindness, or I did this, I went through this was how it happened for me. That's also a form of love being shared through collaboration. And by working together towards a common goal, we can develop a sense of unity, oneness with others, and recognize that we are part of the larger whole. Collaboration with others is seen as a way to tap into the power of collective consciousness and manifest our desires and intentions more effectively. Well, the hindsight from Bible will always talk about the power of one accord, the power of unity. And when there's this power that it can be explained scientifically, just when two energies come together, it's more powerful than the individual energies separate. There's always power in synergy. You have a purpose, you're coming together with one goal and working in unity of purpose. There's a story in the Bible, I don't know if we know about it, the Tower of Babel, that they gathered together to build this tower, and they were almost achieving their goal because they had one language and they were united in purpose until there was a problem with their languaging and they couldn't continue with their goal. And what does this bring about? Unity, oneness in purpose and in agreement. So the Bible also talked about when 2 or 3 agree concerning a thing. When you agree concerning a thing, it shall come to pass. That's also bringing out the importance of unity of purpose. You agree, you work together. It shall be accomplished. And in this teaching, we emphasize the power of thoughts and beliefs to create our reality. And collaboration amplifies this power. Okay, you can create what you want with thoughts of your heart. Imagine you having those, understanding who you are and the power you have within you to create, and I too understand that, another person understands that. Imagine the synergy, the outcome, the magnitude of the outcome that would come when we agree and understand who we are and come together in a place to work towards a thing. That will be really great. So when we collaborate with others, we share our goals, our vision, we can create a collective intention that is more focused and powerful than what we could achieve alone. That's like stressing the issue again, that when we come together, we can achieve more than when we work separately. And of course, when we do all this, it can help us to overcome challenges, obstacles, and issues hurdles that befall us. Collaboration can also help us expand our consciousness and learn from others who have different perspectives and skills. If you've ever been in a group working with people come with their different ideas, people come with their different perspectives about things. And when you share these perspectives together, you'll learn. I mean, the simple one will be when people talk about their demonstrations, we also learn and improve on areas that need strengthening in our own lives. Collaboration can also help us overcome any limiting beliefs or negative thought patterns that may be holding us back. I mean, we live in a world where we're faced with challenges often, and hearing how an individual, a participant in the same program, overcame a challenge also encourages you to put more effort, be focused, and trust that you will overcome your own challenge. And I also like to bring out one aspect again from the Bible that says, can 2 work together except they agree? I can only work with you if we agree on a common ground. I'd like to also now bring some quotes from notable people about collaboration and how it affected their lives and their businesses. I'll start with Henry Ford. Of course, we know Henry Ford, the founder of Ford Motors, once said, coming together is the beginning. Keeping it together is progress. Then working together is success. It's a very profound statement. It just gives, in a nutshell, progress towards collaboration. Coming together, it's not just about coming together. Coming together, yes, that's the beginning. And keeping it together, smoothing all the rough edges through, oh, this is the way I do it, this is the way, taking ego out of it, and so many other self, trying to walk through all those is progress. Then working together is success. That is the height of it, because when we are now working together, my input, your own input, everybody's ideas is simulated and put together to achieve the goal that we all gathered together for. Then Steve Jobs, the founder of Apple, said, "Great things in business are never done by one person. They are done by a team," which is very true. You may have the idea, another person will know how to implement it, another person will know where to source materials, different things. Teamwork is always the best. Helen Keller says, "Alone we can do so little. Together we can do so much." Andrew Carnegie says, "Teamwork is the ability to work together toward a common vision, the ability to direct individual accomplishments toward organizational objectives. It is the fuel that allows common people to attain uncommon results." Oprah Winfrey says, "Surround yourself with only people who are going to lift you higher." Of course, the founder of our New Thought teaching, Ernest Holmes, he says, "Let us unite in purpose and in faith and in the use of the law and demonstrate a greater degree of abundance, happiness, freedom than we have ever known before." We have different energies that come together. Sometimes when we're in a class like this, you just come into the setting and you just feel the power, the energy of everybody gathered together. And it's so powerful, you could feel it because we are united in one accord for a purpose for which we have gathered. And Louise Hay says in You Can Heal Your Life, we have all the power within us to create the life we want. But sometimes we need the support and encouragement of others to help us manifest our desires. This is very straightforward. And this is also one of the reasons why we always want to hear from you and the demonstrations you all experience practicing the teaching. Because sometimes the lessons are amplified with the testimonies, with those demonstrations. And we also build community when we share. I mean, COVID happened and most times people don't come, we don't have people coming to the centers again. So this is also an opportunity for us to work together, collaborate, and share in building community. I'd like to read a story that emphasizes collaboration. It's again by Steve Jobs. And he says, "Technology alone is not enough." In 1986, shortly after he was forced out of Apple, Steve bought a small computer manufacturer called, drumroll, Pixar. In 2000, he relocated the company to an abandoned Del Monte canning factory. The original plan was to be 3 buildings with separate offices for computer scientists, animators, and the Pixar executives. Job immediately scrapped it. Instead of 3 buildings, there was going to be a single vast space with an atrium at the center. And the philosophy behind this design is that it is good to put the most important function in the middle. It's the interaction of the employees. There were 3 buildings, he put them all in one and put the most important function, which is the interaction of all the employees, in the middle. And that's why Steve puts a big empty space there. He wanted to create an open area for people to always be talking to each other. It was not just about creating a space. He needed to make people to go there. The primary challenge of the picture, as he saw it, was getting its different cultures to work together and collaborate. So Job saw separated offices as a design problem. He began with shifting the mailboxes to the atrium. He then moved the meeting rooms, the cafeteria, the coffee bar, and the gift shop to the center of the building. The atrium initially might seem like a waste of space, but Steve realized that when people run into each other, when they make eye contact, things happen. This is just so profound because these are people working for a common goal. They might not even be seeing themselves, but the fact that when they come for coffee, they meet, they interact. When they come for, the center of the place, when you come to do anything, you meet your colleague, you interact. And you wouldn't know how much that interaction can smoothen work experiences and performance. These are silent things that happen that, oh, why are things not working out? There's no interaction, there's no collaboration. Everybody is working with their talents independently. So what does this bring to fore? Even in our families, at our workplace, there needs to be a time for working together, create things that make people come together, bring their resources together, because it can only take collaboration to achieve results. There's another important story here by Rolling Stone. Rolling Stone, we know the popular band. Mike Jagger, Charlie Watts, Keith Richards, and Ronnie Wood, the Rolling Stones, have played together for more than 50 years. However, they still recognize the importance of practicing together. They understand that for excellence to become a habit, you need to define a shared approach to working together. You need to practice it over and over until it becomes a second nature. Before every tour, the band typically commits 2 months for rehearsing. They practice the opportunity to reconnect with their collective rhythm. The practice enables the band to perform with almost telepathic communication. Richard says that he knows exactly what's happening by simply watching Watt's left hand. If the tempo ever drags, one glass from Richard to Wood speaks volume. Together, they will then step up the pace. The Stones' success comes from each member having a distinctive yet complementary role. Richard is their spiritual leader, Watts the band's backbone, Wood the mediator, and Jagger is in control of everything he can be. These are people that have worked together and they don't have to speak to each other for the other person to understand what's going on. There are families where if the father or the mother, anybody comes up and looks at somebody, they already understand the message being conveyed. And it's also bringing to the fore the importance of collaboration and practicing things over and over for these things to happen. Because in practice, you smoothen a lot of things. By working together over time, you smoothen a lot of gray areas, things are ironed out. And you all understand individuals' strengths and weaknesses and build chemistry. I won't talk about this story, but it's about the Avengers and Captain America and how they work together to achieve their goal. I will bring out some hard things about working together and what we need to do. In working together, we have to always know that the aim is, the purpose is to achieve the goal, and we have to put aside our egos. I mean, we are all human beings and we have our egos. We have to be able to compromise and understand that there are things that are important here. We are here for a purpose. We have to compromise. We have to respect. We have to trust ourselves and trust every other person. We have to be transparent and to achieve the purpose for which we have gathered. And there are things that I have written here about, but I won't go into it, about the 3 C's of collaboration. These are things we already know. Communication is very important. Cooperation is very key, and coordination. I mean, this is setting objectives, clear objectives, and following it through. There was also something I will talk before I give an example of a project we did here at the center that we used up this principle of collaboration. I'll talk about some tips of collaborating effectively. I mentioned it earlier. We need trust. Trust is an integral part of collaboration. If there is no trust, it's impossible or almost impossible to build transparency, to rely and be honest. Respect, we have to respect each other, respect the purpose for which we have gathered, respect opinions, and respect that everybody's coming from wherever they are at that moment. We have to be flexible and open to ideas. We have to understand our roles and responsibilities everywhere at the workplace, anywhere you find yourself. We all have our individual roles, and you have to respect the individuals and the positions and the roles that they occupy. Then, of course, not ruling out the importance of ideas and technology in collaborating together. These are important things that we need always. I'm going to talk about something that we did here at the center a while ago. And that will be, it's a form of collaboration because it involved everybody in the leadership team about how we work towards getting our vision statement, our mission, our BHAG, which is a big, hairy, audacious goal. And it's a project, I call it a project, and it's something that we did over a period. And the essence of this project was to grow the center, because we realized that most centers were not thriving, and we made up our mind that we would thrive. We want to be a thriving center. And what did we do? We did a lot of research. We got information from other centers that were thriving, and we explored the principles, things that they did, things that they are doing or we are doing to thrive. And we wanted to replicate that here at the center. I mean, this is a program that we all gathered every Tuesday evening to discuss about. And it's the integral growth model. And it has 4 quadrants. I don't know if we can get a slide of that quadrant just for us to see. And basically, this encompassed everything that we come here to do and what we want to achieve. That quadrant has, of course, it has four squares. And in the first square, you have raise consciousness, develop organization, build community, and shift culture. Number one thing is that each time we gather or come together, the purpose is that we want to raise our consciousness. And what does that mean? We want to, through every of our programs, for everybody to know that they are part of this one creative power, being, universe. You are one with it. And we want you to understand that you have everything within you to do anything. You do not need to go anywhere else for help. You are complete, you are whole. We want you to understand who you are and who you have come here to be. That is what we do in every of the lessons. We want to raise the consciousness for you to understand who you are, the totality of the teaching. That is the principal thing. Then we move to develop organization, which is how we appear, how we arrange ourselves, organize ourselves. Then build communities, always that thing we want everybody to come together, we interact or share during good news. Then an understanding of also, when we understand all these things, how you will be part of what we are doing, shifting culture. Some participants call in and they ask how they can be helpful to the center. Some write, some come in and help us make calls, some come in and write some things that we'll put in the newsletter. Different ways of being of help to the center, volunteering. And this was one project we undertook. And at a time at this center, we used to have like 20 people, 20 participants, 30, but now we reach over 100 and more coming. So this was a project that we undertook, and we saw it grow, the center, and we are happy that we undertook this project. So I'll be ending on this note, and I'll invite Dr. Greg to a roundup.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to our Wednesday night session. Thank you, Jimmy, for the presentation on collaboration and the importance of collaboration. I didn't have a chance to see his notes or know how much he was going to go into tonight, but he had a lot of good sayings and good examples from Steve Jobs to Henry Ford. And he just reminded me just before COVID, when we had done a study, was a study of 400, maybe close to 500 spiritual centers in America, and the studies suggested 80% were failing. And we had the study and we had the research, and we knew there was a saying, 1 in 5 will thrive. And now, as we look back after COVID, it's probably not even 20%. It's probably more like 10%. So we wanted to be part of the group that figured it out. And a lot of really wonderful work came in this very room where people came together. They gave up their Tuesday night for 2 or 3 hours. And we did this like for, I don't know, a long time, couple years. And we built a foundation. And again, it's all about, in everything we do, it's about lifting our consciousness, realizing we have the power, we have the ability within us. But what's really interesting is when Jimmy was telling the story, I think it was about Steve Jobs, when you bring people together and you can see them face to face and all of that, I forgot how good that really was. Because now we're in a post-COVID world where we're not doing quite as much of that. So it's kind of like a missing piece. We try to offset that by providing the personal sharing time after our presentations Thursday and Sunday and today, because we really do look forward to hearing how people are applying the principles and having demonstrations in their lives. So that's all I want to say.